Welcome to my new project. This is a very cheap, as you can see, small tractor. I don't know anything about tractors, and this one is very sad. So in this video we're going to go and look around and see everything that we can find wrong that needs to be repaired with this cheap tractor. So you can see the model on the side. It's a Kubota B1550. It's missing quite a few things. It's a bit rusty. Let's see what we can find. So firstly, you can see that we are missing the correct headlights. We've got some LED headlights fitted, which if they work, great. If they don't work, we need to fix those. It's missing a front grille, and obviously you can see it's had an exhaust adaptation. So I think probably best place to start, we'll have a look at the battery because I know that needs some attention, and I think, yeah, we'll go from there. So the battery's actually disconnected. It needs jumping every time, so we need to chase some electrical faults. So we'll pop it out the way. As you can see, no battery tie down. The battery tray obviously has seen better days. It's nearly attached. Not quite. But as you also may have noticed, we are missing the standard metal rear quarters, mudguards, whatever you want to call it. So someone has welded this beam across the bracing for the rollover hoop, which is also not here, and added these plastic fenders. I did manage to find one of the rear fenders. I think it's the other side, so that's on its way. I haven't found this side yet, but that seems like a problem for later. Obviously, you know, as you can see, nothing is really attached to anything, and we've got a lot of wires that go to nowhere. So I think this is going to be certainly a good wiring project. I've also noticed that we are missing the bolts for this. But in some ways it doesn't matter because we've got two bolts and they're sheared off and they won't come undone. So we'll have to tackle that to try and get the casing off, because I think the transmission filter is sat up in there. So yeah, as I said, missing the headlights. We've got these LED ones. They didn't work, so we're going to have to fix those. And again, missing the front grille, but it's not a huge issue. Someone's made their own out of wire mesh. So this side is much the same as the other side. So again, we're missing the rear fender. The bolts for the transmission casing cover are seized and or snapped. And also on this side, our brake pedals don't do anything. They're also seized. And you might be able to see that the hand throttle here has been modified. So we'll try and fix that properly. And we're also missing the rest of the key. So maybe we'll try and get that sorted out. So on the back side, we're sort of following on from the same theme as the rest of the tractor. Everything's very old, everything's very rusty, and nothing is fitted correctly. So this did actually have a mower fitted to the back of it, and that took me around 2 hours to get the PTO shaft unseized. But here we are. We're now without mower, and we're going to take these arms off because I'm pretty sure these need replacing. Yeah, everything's very old, very seized, very loose. So I think what we might do to start with is try and take some of this off. We'll see if it plays nicely. If it doesn't, we are going to have to cut it off, but I would prefer to undo it if we can. So here's as good a place as any to start. So I think let's get going with this. So as expected, that doesn't want to play ball with us, but that's okay. We'll give it a little spritz, and we'll keep making our way around and see what we can do. Good. That's what that's supposed to look like, definitely. So I think with this one, we might need some fire. So now we've got our top arms free, we're going to come down and work on the bottom ones. These look like original, perhaps original Kubota arms to the machine maybe, but yeah, the links are just gone. But that's okay, it's old, it's had its time. As you can see, that the support brackets are not doing much supporting at the moment. They've sort of lost their attachments to anything. So yeah, obviously as you can see, this isn't supposed to be, that's snapped and there's no way that's going to come out. But you never know, we might have to grab these pins or not. I'll be astounded if these come out. No way. So we'll see if we can take this pin out. Yes. I'm not sure these pins have ever left these arms. As you can see, it's leaving bits of itself on the floor, which is always a good sign. See if that helps. No. So, unfortunately, I think you can probably see now, I've also just spotted the casing for the pin is sheared and, well, the other half of it's gone on that side, and on this side it's cracked at the top. So this is going to be interesting. So we're going to need to repair that if we can, otherwise this makes this fairly useless. But yeah, not what I was expecting to find, so that's a bit of a disappointment. So we'll add it to the list, and I suppose we'll keep going on. So I'm going to work on freeing some of this stuff off, and I think I'll bring you back when we're in a position to remove it. Okay, welcome back. So I've managed to take off the two upper arms, so they're now free and clear. Obviously we've got the two lower arms still on, obviously casing still broken, pins still seized in. So what I'm going to try and do now is jack the back of the tractor up. That's the jack. We'll take the wheels off, get it up on axle stands, and that should give us a bit of extra clearance to get into that pin and hopefully try and get that removed. So I've got it up in the air, and here is one wheel, which I've not touched at all, and is not well. It's what I would call not well attached to the tractor. So obviously we'll add that to the list of things that are wrong. So it looks like there should be a pin here through the position, in the axle, but we don't have that, hence why the wheel's wobbling around on there. So let's whip this off and we'll add that to the list. Many hours later, many blowtorches later, there you go. I don't know if anybody's noticing, but there tends to be a bit of a common theme here. Good. I'd hate for this to come out easily and freely. Well, we can just take this off the side. How exciting. There you go, one loosey-goosey blower arm. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there's now active weight reduction going on, which is good, I think. Obviously this bracket we'll just leave down here for now. I'm guessing these should slide off, but again, yeah, you notice there the casing's just completely gone. That's going to be very challenging to repair, but we'll see what we can do, I suppose. And now, more fire. Right, with more torching, I've managed to get this side off as well. The pin came out a little easier on this one. So on this side we've got the complication of this still being attached. As you might be able to see from the smoke, I've managed to get the R clip out of this one, but unfortunately the pin is still stuck in there. So I've been trying to avoid cutting stuff off, but it's it's getting to a point now where it's semi-inevitable that we're going to have to start cutting things off, which means I'm going to have to move the car outside, which I don't really want to do because it's raining today. So I'll see what I can do with this, see if we can get that pin out. Yeah, if we can, that'd be great. If we can't, then we'll have to find another way, or we'll move on to something else for today. Yeah, unfortunately that pin is a banana, so I don't think that's going to come out, to be honest. And obviously we still have the issue here of these arms being stuck. So again, it might be that we have to make a relief cut and cold chisel those off. I'd rather not. If we can keep them, I think we should. But yeah, it's becoming a bit challenging now without an angle grinder. So let me figure out a plan of action and I'll come back to you. Right, so this is where we've got to. I managed to ping the pin out of this end. Can't get either of those out. This is all seized, those are seized. I'm going to cut those off, but yeah, as I said, the car's in here, I don't want to cover that in bits of hot metal. So I think what we will do for now is leave this as it is, let's go ahead into the engine and see what we've got going on up there. Then at least we can order some bits to try and get this field worthy, because it's certainly not going on the road. Here we go, at engine. So the hood is held on again with pins and R-clips, so we might just take that off for easy access, save ourselves some time. So let's see if this wants to play. So first things that we can see in here, obviously the belt is not doing anything on the alternator. I'm surprised if that does anything at all. The alternator is at its maximum point of adjustment, so the belt's stretched, we need a new belt. That's no big deal. We've got a lot of, so obviously there's a connector for the hood, so we'll take this out of the way. We've got a lot of wires which aren't attached to anything, so this is the earth for the alternator, well it should be the earth for the alternator, but it's not connected to anything, and the crimp for the alternator wiring is pretty poor, so likely we will re-crimp that. Let's see what else we've got. So we've got a little fuse block here, a couple of connectors for the fuel gauge by the looks of it. So all of our fuel lines look good, they're all okay. So we'll dive into a bit of the servicing side of things, I think. So we'll take the side panels off and see what we can find there. So I've also noticed we've got an oil pressure switch down here, which is unplugged and bent. So we'll have to get a new one of these. So I keep running into these, which obviously are supposed to be easily undone by hand, but not, apparently. I've broken a few of these already, so I'm trying not to break this one. There we go. I think before we break anything, let's probably try and do this properly and take these two bolts out. Okay, they don't want to come off. Okay, so we can see our oil filter, which is a genuine Kubota, but looks super old. So obviously, absolutely, that needs changing. Interesting, we've got a bolt here for... What are you doing? The bracket for the alternator, which quite clearly isn't a Kubota bolt and is not the right length. So we'll try and get that swapped out for something that is right. So I think we know sort of where we are then with this side. So let's pop round to the other side and see what disasters we can find there. Good. There you go. That's exactly how they all normally break. And good. So we've got our fuel filter, I think, behind here. So we'll take a look at that one, obviously when servicing happens. Right, so the car's now out of the way, so we'll stop playing around and just start cutting bits off because we spent enough time with a torch, I think. Right, so this one's had we've had a fight basically for 20 minutes. I didn't want to cut into this metal portion here, the steel portion, because obviously that's part of the tractor, we're going to keep it. These are going to come with a new link kit, but yeah, it made it awkward to cut through, so I had to do a series of vertical cuts as opposed to one horizontal, but we got there in the end, and hopefully we can slide this pin out now. So everything is mobile now on the pin, apart from this aluminium part of the casing here. So as we know, aluminium and steel together, not great. You get galvanic corrosion, which I assume is what's happened. So I assume these have seized and then snap the casing off. So let's grab our trusty torch and we'll see if we can grab this out. Right, so we've been going with the torch for a little bit. As you can see, I finally managed to free it off. It's literally just gone a couple of seconds ago. So you can see the rust pouring out of the joint. Right, so let's not set anything on fire, and we'll have to keep this piece of casing safe and not set fire to anything. We have got fire extinguishers in here, but let's not try to use them, and let's not melt the floor. So you can see the casing snapped off there. We'll try and get it welded back on, but I don't know how well it's going to go. But yeah, I'll keep this safe and we'll see how we go. Okay then, so for the last bit of today, just off camera, I've managed to get the bolts out of this. Most of them sheared off. I had to weld some nuts onto those to grab those off. I've not opened this yet, so we can do it for the first time together. So underneath here we should see the transmission oil filter. I don't know when the last time this was off, probably been a while, so yeah, let's have a look together and see what's in here. Yeah, so it looks like we've got our oil filter and a remnants of small nest or something of the like. So let's clear this out quickly and then we'll end the video there, I think. And I think with that, we'll end the first video here. I might do a couple of bits in the background, but I'll bring you back when we are ready to start again. Hopefully we can do a full service on this. See you soon.